also debt relief could mean like somebody doesn't have any equity in their property, or they're behind on payments, which we see a ton of. So here's just some examples, and we'll go through again different ways and why sellers will sell to us. Number one is maximizing price. Two is creating cash flow. So tired landlords or inheritance, and they just want to create cash flow. They have an asset. They want to turn it from a liability to an asset. Estate or tax planning purposes. Chris mentioned a commercial property, which we actually just exited out of. And that was specifically sold for estate and tax planning purposes. And I'll dive into more about that guy's background when we go through that deal. And then debt relief. And debt relief could come in the form of many different things, meaning somebody has 2 mortgages and they don't want to, me and Kevin were discussing in one of our masterminds, or the immersion mastermind, which if you don't know what that means, we can go over one of the ways that we work together. And we talked about these particular sellers that had 2 mortgages. They needed debt relief. They didn't want to keep paying on both of those. That's a high cost to come out of pocket. But then also debt relief could mean like somebody doesn't have any equity in their property, or they're behind on payments, which we see a ton of.
Zach, before you scoot on,
Yep.
the next slide, I don't know if Rick's on, but I think it was interesting when I talked about this last week, out of the blue, Rick gave like 2 examples of, there's so many reasons, there's 50 reasons why sellers will do it, but if he wants to share a reason or 2, it just to get people thinking, because everybody on here runs across these people now, they just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I had a couple deals that they were side by side, owned by the same seller, and they relocated to Virginia, and which would have been 3 mortgages.
Oh,
and
wow.
he sold it to me just for the as a sub 2. So I just took over the mortgages and gave him $30,000 on top of it.
And Rick, how many of those had you done in your lifetime before?
0.